Hello everyone, welcome back. This is another video on paranormal and ghosts and stuff like that. So, as I say, thank you for visiting David at Go To Hobbies. My name's David, and we are going to touch on the subject again about ghosts, spirits, angels, and things like that. I'm a very spiritual person. I love crystals, and I find them fascinating. But without deviating too much off the subject, ghosts. Have you ever seen a ghost? Do you know what a ghost is? Do you believe in ghosts? I do. And when you believe in something, it becomes easier for you to see them because your mind is open. You're not sort of shut to it. You believe in it. Now, why do you see a ghost? What is a ghost? I can tell you what I think and what I know. A ghost is a person or an animal or creature that has died but hasn't moved on in spirit. It is its energy that is still here in the physical plane. And can you hear them? They're off again. It's almost like instinct. When I make a recording or a video, it's doggy talk. We're going to, I don't know. I don't mind. My wife and daughter in there will quieten down in a minute. So my apologies. I'm sorry. There's not a lot I can do about it because I'm in my man cave talking to you today. And if you can bear with us, they will quieten down. So, ghosts and spirits. My understanding is that a ghost or spirit, its energy is still in the physical plane. And the physical plane is where we are now. And if you're open-minded and understanding, then it'll become an interest to you. So, why do we see them? What makes them appear to us? Well, first of all, it's your belief. Are you interested in that sort of thing? It makes it easier for them to present themselves and you can see them. If a person's not interested and doesn't believe in that sort of thing, it's likely that they won't see them because they're not in tuned with it as such. So, have I seen a ghost? Yes, I've seen quite a few. Does it worry me? No, I quite like it actually, because I know that, you know, that animal, that person, once they've passed on, the body's died, but the spirit hasn't. Their energy is still. So this is where it goes into a more interesting subject for us and something which is very dear to my heart. And when I say dear to my heart, I'm sorry, but it is very emotional. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it's very difficult to talk about it. I want to talk about it because It'll help you to understand how I feel and how you feel. What I believe is when we die, our body dies, but our spirit doesn't. Us. We, our body is us. Our body is a shell that carries us around. We inhabit this body. It's our home as such in the physical plane. And why I got upset is because we get attached to a loved one. And when I say loved one, it can be an animal, it can be a human, it can be something else. It can be a cat or another type of creature. So why do we get upset? Because we love that creature or we love that animal. It comes from here. I didn't expect to be so emotional to talk about it, and I'm glad I am talking about it because I want you to understand how it affects people, how it affects me. And I'm probably going to end up crying, but I'll try my best not to. There's a couple occasions in my life, well, more than one. I have really struggled to understand why things happen. And trying to understand what is the purpose of life. Do I believe in God? Yes. Because I don't think I think we're here for a purpose, and that purpose is for our spirit to evolve. It's it's very emotional because you I'll tell you what happened. My other dogs gave birth to a puppy. Well, we had a few puppies, and one of those puppies we discovered had a liver shunt. And we done everything. I mean, we done everything we could for that little one. And it hurts because I had to have him put down. Sorry. As you can understand, it's very emotional losing a pet. We have these animals because we love them. Well, we try to give them everything we can. But unfortunately, they're not as long. They're not as long lived as what we are, and some of the things they can suffer with is very hard to understand. And obviously, you think to yourself, why do they, you know, have to go through it? So an animal can't tell you how much is in pain, but it can show you by its eyes, his feelings. You can pick up on his feelings. You can see what it's like in his body or her body. And you ask the question, why? Why has that animal suffered? Why? What can be done? It's very difficult with a liver shunt. Unfortunately, he was too weak to have the operation, but then even then it was no guarantee it would work. Let's brighten up it a little bit. We got special food for him, and we gave him filtered water. We done everything. My wife and daughter went on forums to see what we could do. He was with us for 15 months. In that time, I tried everything I could. And as you can see, it's left a big hole. This story needs to be told because anyone that has lost someone or lost a pet will understand what I'm going through. And it's not easy, as you can well imagine. What is important is to remember them and knowing that they was here for a purpose. I even paid for a spirit. I mean, this is a good way. I paid for a spiritual healer, and that spiritual healer told me a few things about our dog. One, he was a warrior, a fighter, and what his purpose was. And until you start to understand that life is a bit more complicated than black and white, you will never understand unless you realize there's more to life than what is just this skin and blood and bones. There's more to us than people will realize. Our little boy Benji was so much loved, and it really does, as you can see, it hurts a great deal to talk about it, but it needed to be talked about because it is a part of the healing process about his purpose in the physical realm. Wherever you are, Benji, I will always love you and I'll think about you all the time. That was my as you can see, it gets you. Time is a great healer, and it's never going to be easier. It's just time. Time moves on, doesn't stop for no one, and it does get a little bit easier. I've got pictures of him on my phone. I've got videos of him on my phone. It'll never be forgotten. His purpose was to bring us back together, me and my wife. He did that, and I'm proud of him for that. That animal might not understand what you, as in physically, say to him or her, but you can talk to them through your emotions, your feelings, your love. And that is one of the most important things a human has. Bear that in mind. It's not only the spoken word, which does count a long way, but what you communicate by feelings. And how you portray your feelings to the other person, your animal, pet, the creature you love. Because everything has a feeling. You might not think so, but it does. It's like dogs and cats, they all have feelings. So, what have we learned? I know I got upset, and it was, as you can see, very emotional for me. And I really didn't realise how emotional it will be. I haven't put any of this on. What you see is how I actually feel. And this is the one thing about spirits and ghosts. You know, how it affects you, how it affects me. Being a spiritual person, you're open to these things. So it's something to think about, isn't it? And understand that you're here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. And one of the things you need to do is understand that once your body dies, your spirit doesn't. Your spirit lives on. Yes, your spirit might go to God, heaven, yeah, and then it will decide where it wants to go next. Does it want to do this? Does it want to do that? In other words, you, me, our pet spirit, they have a choice of what they want to do. They wanted to do something. It's very wonderful, very beautiful, but on a very emotional level, you will discover things that as you get older in life that you never thought you would experience. Because when I was 20, I thought I'll never be where I am now talking to you here about what I'm talking about. So, thank you for staying with me on this very emotional video. and hopefully it's an eye-opener to spiritual ghosts, our pets, spirits, and how it can help us in our journey on this world through life. Never give up. And just a thought, whilst we depart this world, I'm not being morbid. As I say, this body might die, but my spirit will live on. And I don't have a problem with that. What is the purpose of life? You're on the same journey as me, because this is why you're watching the video, and you seek the same questions that I seek, and you might have your own experiences, what you want to share with me. So if you do, please leave them in the comments below. Your comments are always welcome, and if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you want to know more and you're interested in other videos that I'm going to do, hit subscribe and then hit the little bell icon and then click all, and then you'll see more videos of different things and what I'm covering with the paranormal and ufology and everything to do in between. So thank you for watching, and thank you for being so understanding and to sharing my experience with what I've talked about. And God bless you all. Bye bye for now.